Provident Preppers. One of the things that we have in abundance will be cherry tomatoes. And sometimes what I'll do is I will just put them in a batch of tomatoes that we're gonna juice because they're so hard to peel. What are you doing?
I am putting seasoning salt on these because I think they're gonna be amazing when I take them out and crunch them.
Okay, so what we decided to do with these is to turn them into snacks, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna freeze dry these, and we didn't have quite enough cherry tomatoes, so we've got a few of the regular tomatoes that we just sliced. So we're really interested to see how all of this turns out. But I actually agree with him. So we'll have 2 of them that don't have any seasoning on them so we can compare them. And then these 2. So let's put them in the freeze dryer and see how they turn out.
Let's do it. This is an experiment, so we're excited to try this.
We love experimenting with the freeze dryer, actually.
We do. We just took the tomatoes out of the freeze dryer. They look really good. Kind of interesting. Some of them bubbled up like sugary kinds of things have. So, and I assume that's the sugar in the tomatoes.
Yeah, we saw it a lot with the oranges, right? And there's also the high vitamin C acid kind of base in there.
Okay.
Because not all, like the grapes didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know if it's the sugar or the acid. I just don't know. If you know, make sure you comment below so that we can all be smarter.
Absolutely, yeah. So 2 of these trays had salt on them. We put
Seasoned salt.
seasoned salt.
And they're nice and dry. See? Well, that's kind of really yummy. I thought it was really yummy.
I think it's very good.
I should have tasted that one first. I should have tasted the one without first.
And those are good, but I think I like the seasoned salt on them better.
I think I like those better, actually.
That's good.
Isn't that funny? These are kind of like a snack food. Okay, so they really are delicious. One of the things that I'd like to see is whether or not we can take, because remember we had some extra room, so we just sliced some tomatoes to freeze dry them, and they're really nice and dry. But I wonder if we put them in the coffee grinder or in a Vitamix, what the powder would turn out like, because a lot of times having tomato powder to add to something is really good.
Yeah.
So while Jonathan packages this, I'm gonna do some powder, and then we'll reconstitute a few of these so that you can see exactly what they turn out like when they're reconstituted.
Right.
Always put an oxygen absorber in, and I usually like to put it in the bottom. These are our 500 cc oxygen absorbers. I use them for anything that's a gallon or less. I used to use the 300 cc, and that was fine for anything that under a gallon, but I got a great deal on some of these, and so now I'm using the 500 cc. You can't use too little. You have to make sure you have plenty, but using one that's a little bit bigger isn't gonna matter. Okay, so I ground up this tomato to make this really cool paste. And check this out. What a beautiful light flour. It looks like I could have ground it just a little bit more, but the paste turned out really good. Okay, let's hydrate the sliced tomato just a little bit. And then these are a variety of the cherry tomatoes. Okay, so this one is all ready to be sealed up. And I'm gonna close it, but I'm gonna seal it in just a minute because I wanna work on something else. But these are the seasoned cherry tomatoes, so I don't wanna get them mixed up. And and 2021. Okay, so now this is what I really wanted to see how well this would turn out. So I've got this flour, the tomato flour. I'm going to start by adding just a little bit of water. And this is hot water. Oh, it smells like fresh tomatoes. It looks really good.
The color comes back. It comes back to a bright red.
Yeah, the color looks good. You can see the texture. So this would be really kind of cool because the more water you add, the runnier it would be. But how awesome to be able to create that. Okay, well, you have to taste it though. And it was seasoned.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's look at the reconstituted cherry tomatoes. These are going to take just a little while longer. I can still feel they're just a little bit crunchy. And then this is the tomato. So it's lost a little bit of what it had before. I don't know quite how to describe what it's missing.
It just doesn't look quite normal.
Yeah, but it's still holding its shape fairly well. So that's really good. And the flavor of them is really good. Oh, here, you should eat this one too. Is it mushy?
Texture's a little weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Texture's a little weird.
All right, so we'll come back in just a minute and check out these cherry tomatoes. And you need to finish packaging.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's been a good half an hour now. And, you know, I'm just not thrilled with the way that these cherry tomatoes turned out, rehydrated. The flavor is still good. So would I use them in some kind of a recipe? Absolutely. But I think that they taste better when we're just eating them as a snack because they were so good freeze dried.
Yeah, texture's really weird on the...
It's kind of weird, huh? I love the paste. The paste turned out really pretty. I think grinding them, we could grind the cherry tomatoes into a paste too. So there's all kinds of potential there. Overall, I think freeze drying the tomatoes, total thumbs up, delicious.
Yep, very good.
These bags, the cherry tomatoes, they should last for a really, really long time.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And now for the question of the day. What is your favorite way to use cherry tomatoes? Because sometimes we get so many cherry tomatoes and we don't quite know what to do with them. So what is your favorite way to use your excess garden cherry tomatoes? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.